Why pulling back makes her lean in. See, men think that if we pull back, if we stop texting her, we stop calling her, we stop communicating, she's losing interest. That's it. It's a wrap. We lost her. But what actually happens is the opposite. Because when you pull back, you are relieving the tension. You're relieving pressure. And pressure is what kills attraction. So when you are always invested, when you are always available, when you are always there to be comfort, right? You are too needy in most people's eyes. You have to understand is that when you pull back, you're not pushing her away. If anything, you are removing the pressure. And pressure is what kills attraction. Once that pressure is gone, she leans in. Instinctively, she's more in tune with you. The truth that most guys don't want to hear is that when you pull back, you remove tension, you remove pressure, you remove expectations. You're not showing that you don't care about her, but you show that you are not dependent on her. You do not need that validation. You do not need that reassurance. And as a man, that is highly attractive because a woman is looking at you as a leader. She's looking at you as a masculine guy. She's looking at you to be there to provide and whatnot. So when you pull back, that one instinctively lets her know you are busy. You got things you got to do. Two, that lets her know you are not super invested, right? And yes, you might love her. Yes, you might be super emotionally attached to her, right? But you should never really show that. Never. And I promise you, it would always work against you if you do that. If you're currently doing that right now, just tone it down a notch. Tone it down a notch. Because being too needy, too available, trying to show your affection for whatever reasons you're doing it, right? You have your own reasoning. Could be from past. Could be you were told you were too nonchalant. I know that makes most guys, from what they tell me, want to do that more now in their new relationship or show their affection in a different way. But in reality, no matter what they say, you have to literally pull back your energy, pull back your affection, pull back your love, because you want her to lean in. She can't lean in if you are doing a little bit too much, or if you're showing a little bit too much. You want her to have that desire about you. You want her to be emotionally attached to you, right? So it doesn't mean just completely ghosting her, but it does mean giving some space. It needs to grow. You need to have space in order for this to work. What it's immediately signaling is that I don't need attention. I don't need immediate reactions to get your affection. You already know she's feeling you. She's down for you. You don't need her telling you that every time. And when you pull back, it's not a tactic. It's a signal. You are letting her know instinctively that you won't collapse from no contact, that you won't collapse from no clarity. You won't collapse from reassurance. You're going to be good. You're going to be straight. You're going to be grounded. You might think that over-investing is attractive when you over-explain, when you let her know what you're doing when she didn't ask, right? You're supposed to go do this at 7 o'clock. You're telling her what you're doing and who you're with. But that's not showing confidence. That's not showing trust. You're showing urgency that you need to, or else something will happen, or you might lose her, or you might lose her attention, her affection, or she might not trust you. Just be calm. Doing less in this situation will always work out better for you in the long run, because now you are setting high expectations. Are you going to keep doing this for the next however long? Probably not, especially if you're just getting into this relationship. You got to literally pull back. Don't do too much. Really show what you plan to do in the long run, right? If you don't want to lose that attraction, keep doing what you were doing from the get-go. So that means not setting high expectations. You want to keep it at a grounded level that you can maintain over a while. Does that make sense? You don't want to keep doing too much, especially off the get-go, because when you stop, when you dramatically must go, when you get comfortable, right? We've all been there. So you don't want to just completely do one whole 80. Now she's just like, who is this guy? All right, like, man, he is bugging. Because when you come off as that, when you do a little bit too much at first, you have to maintain that in their eyes, right? Some won't care, right? But majority will. They will say, they will think, especially how females think, they will think she did something wrong. She would think it's something I did. And now this is where arguments can start arising, right? Because she's thinking it's something she did wrong, but the whole time it's that you were just not trying to do too much now. Like you kind of, got comfortable and you thought you don't have to do as much, but maybe that's why she was into you in the first place, right? You set a high bar. So I always advise to keep it grounded, right? Do something that you can maintain. It's That's why it's good to pull back off the get-go, right? I'm not saying don't do anything for her, don't spoil her, don't treat her. Do what you want, right? But you need to do it in a level where you can maintain it. If you do too much, example being you're over communicating, you're over texting, you're over calling, that could also signal in her eyes he needs emotional urgency. He needs something like this at all times. And what that signals to her in her mind is that if you pull away, I'll panic. That's what kills polarity. You don't want her to be feeling responsible for your emotional state, because when you do that, she will lean back. She will, instead of leaning in, she will be leaning back. Because when you pull back, you remove that burden. Now she's able to feel free again. Now she's able to feel comfortable. That's why you can probably recall from your life how certain individuals who never really did too much was always able to maintain, or always in a relationship, always getting all the girls. It's because they don't really do too much. They let their aura, right? They let their aura speak for themselves. They let their vibe do most of the talking. They don't do too much. They don't set high expectations. They stay grounded. They stay level-headed. They stay focused on their mission. And what that comes off as to a female is that, oh, he doesn't really need me. So if I'm with him, it only adds to his life, right? And that immediately signals to show that he's the catch. He's the prize. And I've always mentioned that as a man, you are the prize, right? So you have to act like that. You have to move like that. You have to think like that. You have to communicate that. You have to invest that. You have to show these characteristic traits off the get-go, and you have to maintain it, especially if you want something to last. What she will be thinking in her mind is, why is he doing so much? 2, why did he stop? Now you change her outlook. Now you change her mindset. Her viewpoint completely changed. Now she's looking at it internally. Now she's thinking. You don't want to always be that reassurance guy. You don't want to always, because you're not leaving space to grow. You're not leaving space for her to even think, to even miss you. Bad sign. Never do that. Because curiosity is the beginning of attraction. Silence creates contrast, while distance creates clarity. Distance creates reflection. If she's over here and you're always right here, you're always right next to her side, you're always right there, like, how can she ever feel that space? How can she ever feel the distance? How can she ever miss you? You have to understand that when you pull back, it's not even about her, it's about you. It's about regaining your calm authority. It forces you to regain control, because you're not checking up, you're not checking your phone every 2 minutes, you're not calling her, checking your missed calls. Stop trying to predict the outcomes. Now your nervous system calms down. And when you're calm, you will always move differently. You'll move in a clear state of mind. You're not overthinking a million thoughts going through your mind like a math equation. You're making better decisions now. You're not moving in an anxious state of mind. You show up as a grounded energy instead of a needy one. You see how that immediately signals calm authority. That immediately signals high attraction for her. She's going to be way more invested into you in the long run if you keep that same wavelength, if you stay in that same vibe. That's what she responds to. It's not efforts, it's not words, but presence. Women love authority. Women love presence. The common fear that most men have is that, what if I pull back and she just disappears? If that's the case, she was never leaning in to begin with. You have to understand that when you pull back, someone that is genuinely interested in you does not disappear like Aang, the Avatar, right? They don't just vanish. Like you will never find her again. That's not real. And if you don't want to experience that, you're going to have to experience that to see what's good, to see what's real. As much as you might not want to experience it. You have to. You're a man. You have to deal with it. Because it's going to tell you the truth, brother. It's going to help you in the long run. And you know that as well. The only thing that it will be removing, if someone was to vanish, is someone that was just benefiting off of you. That was just there for your attention. That was just there for your status. Whatever that you bring. When you pull back, someone that's genuinely interested in you will not just disappear. Will not just vanish. Will not block you on all things because of uncertainty. And if they do disappear, if they do vanish, that's not a loss. That's clarity. Now you're clear. Here's the important law to remember. The person that needs less controls the dynamic. Pulling back restores balance. Balance creates tension. And tension creates attraction. That's why you stop chasing and she will start feeling it. Does that make sense? So understand that pulling back is not playing games, it's not having tactics. It's about regaining emotional control. Clear mind always has clear decisions. Needy mind always has needy outcomes, always has needy predictabilities, always comes off as too dependent. When you master that, not only will you benefit with women, you will benefit in life, because everything changes. How you respond, how you view the world will completely change. If this hit, I broke this down in my guide, The Art of Detachment. You can check in the top link in the description or pinned comments. Stay grounded, and remember, clarity of mind, discipline of motion. You got this. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. If you guys like this video, leave a like. Share this video with somebody who needs to see this. If you like this video, watch this video up next. And I'll catch you guys on to the next one, man. Peace.